morning again, everyone. It will be 8 o'clock in about 7 seconds right now. And here's a look at what's making news this morning. Premier Alison Redford, Prime Minister Stephen Harper, and other delegates should be touching down in South Africa any moment now. They're in Nelson Mandela's home country to pay tribute to the global icon following his death. Redford worked with Mandela in the 1990s as a human rights lawyer on a legal team to help the country transition out of apartheid. Redford will join the Canadian delegation, including Prime Minister Stephen Harper and former Prime Ministers Jean Chrétien, Kim Campbell, and Brian Mulroney. The delegation left yesterday. They'll attend Mandela's public memorial in Johannesburg tomorrow. Here at home, an elderly woman's home is destroyed, but she escaped with her life after an early morning fire on Saturday. This is all that's left of that house at 62nd Street and Ada Boulevard. It was completely leveled after fire broke out around 4 Saturday morning. It took crews nearly 5 hours in minus 30-degree weather to put out that fire. There is no official word on what caused the blaze. The woman's friends and family have stepped in to help her get back on her feet. Meanwhile, fireplaces will be in heavy use this winter, and one family found out the hard way how important it is to clean out your chimney. Residents at this home at 46th Street and 106th A Avenue were using their fireplace when smoke started building up this morning. When crews arrived, they found a fire had started inside the chimney and attic because of what could be a creosote buildup.
If people haven't got their chimneys cleaned if in the early fall here, these things do tend to build up over the season.
Firefighters were able to quickly contain the blaze, and the family was allowed back inside once all of the smoke was gone. Well, drug trafficking charges have now been laid against the driver of a truck that hit and killed a teenage girl near Rocky Mountain House last week. The girl was hit while walking along Highway 11 west of Rocky Mountain House. Police say they charged the 51-year-old driver after finding 170 pounds of marijuana inside his vehicle. That street value of those drugs is around $600,000. 3 people who were in another car with the victim were also charged with assaulting the truck driver. Well, the legal woes continue for former Oilers owner Peter Pocklington. He was supposed to start serving a 6-month jail term today, but it's been delayed while the court hears his appeal. Back in September, a California judge found Pocklington guilty of breaching conditions on his release for bankruptcy fraud convictions. Pocklington has been in ongoing legal trouble since 2008. Well, as the Christmas season gets underway, families shattered by drunk driving are making yet another plea to end needless deaths. Dozens of people lit candles and laid pictures of their lost loved ones at an annual memorial at a local church. Those in attendance say every year there are more candles to be lit, which is the most frustrating part.
It really is heartbreaking to look in the audience and to see new faces, because that shows us that the message just isn't getting out there. There are new victims every year because impaired driving continues to happen, and it has to stop. It's 100% preventable.
It is officially check stop season here in Edmonton. Police are hitting the streets earlier this year. Their campaigns will start at 5 p.m. So far, police have only arrested 1 person for impaired driving. Well, it's been a month since Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines, and relief efforts are still coming in from Edmonton. Vietnamese groups in our city have been working hard to shore up funds to secure aid for the victims of that massive storm. And over the weekend, they presented the local Filipino community with a $35,000 check on behalf of the Canadian Red Cross.
This means so much to the Filipinos, not only of Edmonton, but also in the Philippines. Unknown to them, there are so many praying and showing care for their welfare.
Official numbers say more than 6,000 people were killed in that storm, while millions are still displaced. Well, a $50 ticket for a seasonal parking ban seems like a drop in the bucket compared to what some Sherwood Park drivers could face this morning. It's open season for $250 tickets as of 7 o'clock this morning on all collector routes in Sherwood Park. Road crews will be out clearing away snow, which means your vehicles will have to be moved. In addition to that hefty fine, you could face towing charges as well. To check out where you can and cannot park, head to the Strathcona website online. Well, while many take warm clothes for granted during bitterly cold winter days, it's a luxury for hundreds of people living on the streets. Local volunteers, though, are making sure that isn't the case this winter during the 9th annual Backpacks for the Homeless campaign.
I think that we're all just one bad decision away, one piece of bad luck away from being in the exact same position, and I wouldn't want to be homeless sitting out here at this weather.
We all pitch in. It doesn't matter 30 above, 30 below. We're all here to help the people on the street have a little smile on their face.
About 300 backpacks have already been handed out. You can find these volunteers working very hard every Sunday morning at 110th Street and 111th Avenue, giving out food and other much-needed items. While many of us were trying to stay out of the cold over the weekend, one man braved the elements to help stock up the Edmonton Food Bank. Can man Dan Johnstone wrapped up his marathon 60-hour food drive last night outside of the Terralosa Safeway. He is hoping to top its 2012 totals when he brought in more than 15,000 pounds of food and raised $8,000 in donations. Johnstone says that frigid temperatures were pretty brutal.
There was no managing the temperature on Friday night. It was just incredibly cold, and it's kind of an eye-opener because there's actually homeless people who live in the river valley in tents and stuff in this weather. So I mean, I could barely handle it for a day, and these people are living in it, daily. Just what we need.
Although there's still no exact total just yet, Johnstone says he'll venture out again if he doesn't meet his goal. Well, it may have been snowing outside over the weekend, but it was definitely raining teddy bears inside Rexall Place. Oil Kings defenseman Dyson Mayo's goal with 4:40 left in the first period Friday night triggered a hail of stuffed animals. 10,120 teddy bears were collected for Santa's Anonymous. This is the first time more bears were tossed than there were fans in the stands. The annual teddy bear toss also raised more than $19,000 for the charity. The Oil Kings finished off by beating the defending Allen Cup champion Portland Winterhawks 5-4 in a shootout.